Ah, now here we go, gooseberries.
Okay.
Gooseberries and red currants, I would strongly recommend. The last thing you want is inward growing growth. You want outward growing growth. So this has been pruned almost exactly wrong. So it's been pruned and just above a bud that's growing inwards, whereas actually that should be going the opposite direction. In fact, none of these have been pruned well. Invicta's good. Invicta's good. I grow Invicta.
Are they for dessert?
No, Invicta is a cooking one. Gooseberry fool, gooseberry pie, gooseberry jam, gooseberry crumble. There is no way of eating a gooseberry that isn't a divine experience.
Looks like you're getting some gooseberries then, Nigat. On to the herbs.
Little group of oregano there. Do you want that?
Okay.
How many do you want? Want more than one?
Maybe we'll just go for a few.
Good.
3.
Good.
Should we go for 3?
I'd go for 10 myself. I'm that kind of guy. And what about rosemary?
I have 1 rosemary. So maybe
one rosemary is nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Let's put another one in. There.
No, come on, get more. Because you want lots of flowers and you want great bushes of rosemary.
No, it grows too big. Just 1 more.
Looks like Nigat is as reluctant as her husband when it comes to shopping.
Time?
I love that. I'll have a few.
What do you call a few? 15? It says here you get 10 for 15 quid, so we want to buy at least 10.
All right. Let's get more of this and more of the Corsican mint. Okay?
You see, you're coming around to my way of thinking. Okay.
Is this lavender?
Yes. Take a tray.
No, we're not.
Why not?
I have to plant them by the tray as well.
Oh, that's no problem. They just go bang, bang, bang in the ground.
No, 4.
Before we plant anything, place everything where you think it might go, then stand back, move things around. Then, when you're ready, plant the whole lot. So, we're going to plant the pears as espaliers along here. You know, an espalier is any tree, but particularly fruit tree, that is grown in tiers. And there can be as many tiers as you like. Incidentally, the word espalier originates from the Italian word spalliera, meaning something to rest the shoulder on. Down a bit, up a fraction. So we begin by creating a support system to train the tree. This is very straightforward and simply requires eyelets and wire. We're making 3 tiers about 45 centimetres apart, so we run wires across the fence at those intervals. Next, we dig a hole that's wide but not deep.
I would never, if left to my own devices, I would not have cleared a space as big as this.
Right. We position the tree so it's angled back towards the fence. Now, at this stage, when you're heeling it in, you don't want to damage the roots, but you do want it to be firm. So just go like this, all the way around. Give them a generous soak. Then add plenty of mulch, tie them with twine, and that's the job done. These buds here are going to provide us our lateral growth. So you grow this up at 45 degrees, and then in winter, lower them down. Don't force them down. It might take 2 years to get them horizontal. And then all these can be pruned off. It'll take roughly a year for each tier. And I would have every expectation of that lasting for at least 100 years. There's not enough room to put drainage in. If it was a deeper container, I'd put some stones or crocks in, but this is just too shallow. Shallow-rooted herbs like chives can also work well in guttering. All right, how about that?
Beautiful.
So, what we now need to do is pack compost around them. There's not much soil in there, so these strawberries will need regular watering. But keep them moist, and all being well, they should successfully bear fruit. On raised beds like this, I think intercropping, closer spacing than normal. If in doubt, squeeze an extra one in. I tend to have a basic unit of spacing, which everything gets spaced at, which is the span of my hand. I think it's more productive to have more smaller things than a few bigger things. When you're planting tomatoes of any size, you want to bury it as deep as possible.
Yeah.
Bury it up to the first leaves. It'll grow roots from the stem and it'll anchor it more firmly in the ground.
And Monty is keen to maximise all the space possible.
So what's coming in here?
I was going
Just
to
simply
leave
that.
that because of that.
But you can't afford the luxury of that.
Yeah.
I'd put some more bush tomatoes in there.
I would pack it in and get 2 bush tomatoes in there and then even underplant it with lettuce. 1, 2.
But Monty is more concerned about the real dream for this garden.
Are people coming in to pick? I mean, are you
Not
having...
yet, because it's still a work in progress.
But
Oh,
what...
children I have.
Yeah, but how are you going to let people know that it's not work in progress, its doors are open now?
I'm going to put a sign up.
Right.
A proper sign. And I did think I'm going to have an honesty box and just say it's all free, but
If you wish to make
if you wish to make a donation towards compost.
Why not do it to a charity?
Yes.
Whether it's the local school or a hospice, and then if you let people know, you said we raised £100 and that went to so-and-so.
That's where my signpost, my notice board
your
will
notice board will come in. Very good.
First on the list is potting a couple of lemon trees, which require good drainage. Monty starts by adding polystyrene chunks to the bottom of each pot. This will also make them lighter and easier to move.
So you start with your basic compost. You pass the bag of the all-purpose peat-free compost.
To improve drainage, Monty adds an equal amount of sand to the compost.
You see, it's a nice sandy mix. Right, next one, you've bought some topsoil.
Yes.
Let's have that. I spent quite a lot of time in Italy, and all the people who grew citrus of any kind, whether they were lemons, oranges, grapefruit, they would never tell me their soil mix. It was always a secret, and they all had their own, but they all use loam. Like that.
Jill is keen to be Monty's assistant. Jennifer prefers to watch.
We'll just lift it carefully. That's about right, because we want to leave space at the bottom, at the top.
Yes.
Because one of the things it's good to do, A, for watering, you want to be able to get plenty of water on the top, and B, it's quite a good idea every spring to give it a mulch of compost. Scrape away an inch or so of the topsoil,
Right.
remove it, and top that back up with fresh garden compost. We can just fill around it like this in the pot, which looks a bit odd, but actually has one or two advantages. Now, if you grab one side and we carefully lift it out as straight as possible, okay?
The whole thing?
Yeah, okay, lift it gently up and I'll keep going. That's it.
Wow.
Now, if we take this out, like that, and just slip it in there.
Beautiful.
The barrow to the pot, rather than the pot to the barrow.
Oh, it's brilliant. It feels like this is the beginning of doing the actual gardening. Incredible information. You know, you'd think it'd be very simple. You put a lemon tree in a terracotta pot. What is the big deal? And those polystyrene bits in the bottom, I had no idea about that. I thought they were completely functionally useless. Polystyrene had no purpose.